Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, my friends! This is so fancy. I'm excited about our introduction video. How are you all doing? This is Angie Stewart from Mia InnerLight, here live in Kardec Radio. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are listening this through the Kardec Radio app, welcome, welcome. To all of you that are going to be seeing the recording later on, welcome. It's always a blessing to be here, to be talking about important topics, and to be talking about Spiritism in English. I always emphasize English because there are thousands of people that talk about Spiritism in Portuguese. So in English is really a blessing because there are so many people in this beautiful blue planet that are searching for this message and that they couldn't understand. But Kardec Radio is here for such a long time doing a great job. So we are very happy to be part of this wonderful process of growing. So let me just check here because I forgot to add this. Okay, so if you start joining, I will be able to see your comments, to see your messages here. I always have some issues, but I think everything is working. I didn't check to see it's live, but I think it is live. Anyway, it's recording, so this is the good thing. And as I always have now a guest. So let me bring my guest for today. So my guest for today is Nora. Nora,
hi, Angie.
Yes, we are very happy to have you here with us today. So Nora also has a show here in Kardec Radio that she also talk about Spiritism, and it's from 8 to 9 p.m. Well, in my time. She's in Texas, so she's 1 hour behind. But in Miami time is it's from 8 to 9 p.m. So welcome, Nora. Thank you for being here
Thank you,
with us.
Angie.
I encourage all of you to go also to listen to her talk, because besides talking beautifully, she also plays the guitar, sings, things that I cannot do in this lifetime. Maybe the next one.
You're
Very
so
good.
funny.
Well, you know, when we have a little bit of humor, everything is better.
Absolutely. Thank you
So
so
if you
much.
are new here, I encourage you to have a bottle of water or a glass of water. So the spirits will be able to bless it, will be able to put the medication that's actually good for you. And you can have this medication through the week. And the same way we do in the Spiritist Center. So it's just don't allow the water totally to finish. So when it's like a little bit, fill up the water again and do a prayer asking your guardian angel and the good spirits to put more of the medication that you need there. And then it will be replenished. And when we come back again, you can do it over and over again. So let's start with our prayer to calm down, especially me. I'm the one who needs more the prayer so I can focus, because I'm all over the place all the time, so I can focus, calm down. Yes, it's true. The people that talk too much needs calm down. Very good. So let's relax. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and let's connect. God, our Mother, Father, thank you so much for another time bringing us here together in order to be able to evolve a little bit, just talking, reflecting about the words of Jesus, his moral teachings that are so important And until nowadays, we couldn't fully understand. And even worse, we couldn't fully practice. But we are finally here together, trying to put this in practice. And we are asking for your help, your guidance, your good inspirations, the good vibrations to be put upon all of us, opening up our minds so we can fully embrace everything we'll be discussing tonight. So one day this discussion will flourish in our hearts and we will be able to do what we are saying today. Thank you so much. So be it. Very good, very good. Awesome. So, Nora, my darling, I will call you later and we will be happy to have your prayer to finalize the study of today, tonight. Thank you. Okay, my friends. So, our study is this beautiful book, Among Brothers of Other Lands. We usually study this for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and then we have a little bit of this book, The Gospel According to Spiritism, and the message of today is very beautiful. Blessed are they whose eyes are closed. So it's interesting. This is for you to keep thinking, but why blessed are those who the eyes are closed? So stay with us so you will understand, because there are many things in the Bible, in the New Testament, in the Gospels that we read and we don't fully understand it. So stay with us and you will be able to understand. And the chapter today is chapter 35. The title is Ask Yourself. And the spirit who wrote the message was Ernest O'Brien. This spirit also sent lots of messages through the mediumship of Valdo Vieira. But this is also one of those spirits that I couldn't really find any information about him while he was incarnated, where he was on earth. But his messages are very beautiful, powerful. And this one is really talking about death. And death for all of us is a problem. Everybody's like, death? No, no, I don't want to die. And then people say, well, you're a spiritist. You know, what are spiritists? Spiritists are people who understand, not to believe. Believe is one thing, understand is much deeper. We understand there is life after death, meaning this physical body here, Angie will die. Her physical body will die, but her spirit will be free. Will be like that explosion of energy, glitter everywhere. Ah, hopefully. Hopefully. You never know how you're going to wake up in the other side. But the good thing is that we will wake up in the other side. And we will have the blessing of meeting people that we already knew in this life or in previous lives. You know, our family members that we loved so much and they left before us, our friends. And so when we wake up, is a process of understanding. Nothing is automatic. Only to the very, very evolved spirits, they die and they wake up like this because they are already so disconnected from the material life that for them it's very easy. But for the majority of the people, it's not like that. It's really a process. And we know that lots of people, the majority of the people, when they wake up in the other side, they are not really sure they are actually alive or dead. So they usually are brought to a hospital. So they start getting used to that situation. They start understanding they were sick. And then little by little, they are brought to the new reality. So usually this is what happened to the majority of the people. But yes, there are cases and cases. And in Spiritism, we can never say, oh, he died like this, he will wake up like that, because it's not what happened. There are thousands of possibilities. So people that lived in the same family, in the same house, they die together, does not mean they are going to wake up together, because everything is very personal. It's about your own person. How did you live your life? What did you do of good? What did you do of bad? What were the lessons you learned? So all this accumulate and makes you waking up easier or a little bit more difficult. So I already spoke for 12 minutes, my goodness. So let's read his message. And if you are new here, please feel free to write your comments, your questions. As soon as I finish reading the whole text, I will read whatever you guys wrote, and I will comment little by little so we can really understand sentence by sentence, okay? So let me just say hello to my friends who wrote here. Hello, Matthew. How are you? Saul, Carla, Kardec Radio is here too. Very, very nice having you all here. So let's go. Ask yourself, on what basis shall we localize the problem of a death? Of course, there is no death. Life itself demands death as a rebirth. Between both, our conscience remains. Experiences may come and experiences may go. In the meantime, conscience goes on. Conscience is divine justice within us. Do not forget, you live always. A spirit must be seen for what he is. Therefore, he can only continue hereafter in the place for which he has adjusted himself. One goes through the gate of death to live again. As you know, one finds, one seeks. Later on, you will receive happiness in the beyond according to your own deeds now. Think about this. Make believe you are in your own plane after death, and look over your obligations before you contract them. Wow. Each morning, ask yourself, what am I looking for? First of all, hear your conscience. Do not beat about the bush. Each one of us must bow to the truth. Must bow to the truth. When you are wrong, it is better to admit your mistakes without reservation and henceforward repair them. You are called upon to hurt yourself, but do not cheat yourself out of it. Education for happiness in the beyond revolves about our daily troubles. You cannot achieve good works without effort. Trials reveals character. If you promise to help someone, do it now. If you want improvement, do not leave it for tomorrow. Do it today. You are born from heaven, and you will get back there carrying in your conscience the fruit of your works. Before you go back to the beyond, you must cleanse your inner world. Above all, keep a good conscience. The field of thought is free. Truly, you live in acts and not dreams. Where God is joy is. But where God is, there is also responsibility. Use the gifts lent to you in the good of all. Because when death arrives, you have everything that you gave to others. Here and there, may God's love be seen through you. July 10th, 1965, New York City, New York, USA. Beautiful message, beautiful message about death, something that most of us don't like to talk about. It's hard. A lot of people don't like to talk about, or because they are afraid, or because they have some idea if they talk about death, they will attract death, or because they really don't know what is in the afterlife and they are afraid of it. I don't want to talk about it. Or because people simply believe that after this physical body dies, everything disappears. What is very strange to my thought. Even before I knew Spiritism, I really understood and studied so deeply. I always knew that after we die, we will leave somehow. I think I told, like, I don't know, last week or 2 weeks ago, I was talking about that my whole family, everybody, they are all Catholics. I have one aunt that's not Catholic. She is don't really know how to say the name of her religion in Portuguese, but they all believe in heaven and hell. And in that time, there was also limbo, like the middle ground. That I also don't remember how to say it in English. Oh, come on, translators, help me, please. And then I believed in it, and I actually was like, oh, okay, I'm not an angel, so I don't need to worry. I'm not going to heaven because I thought it was boring. I'm not an evil person, so I know I'm not going to hell. I'm kind of more or less, so I will be in that limbo in that limbo area. But then when I discover Spiritism, that I start understanding that we are the ones that construct our future in the spiritual realm. So whenever you are a better person, you start acquiring, attracting good vibrations, good energy. When you do good to someone, you attract good to yourself, and then you start like improving yourself. And it was even better when I discovered that this good place in spiritism is not that a boring imaginary field that I thought with the angels, with the arms, la 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 la, that I always thought was like, it's boring. No, in Spiritism, the spiritual realm, it's very similar to our life. So it's very similar to what we are living here. We can always progress. So it's not boring. It's a place that you can work. You should work. You can study. You can improve yourself. So if you watch the movie Nosso Lar, Astral City, you see the spirit of André Luiz when he wakes up in the spiritual realm. He goes to work. After some time, when he progresses a little bit, he recovers, he understands. He goes to work. But immediately, what he wants to do, he was a doctor, so he wants to work as a doctor. But takes him some time to understand that the doctor of the physical body is different from the doctor of the spirit. There was no physical body to be cured, but there were the minds that need to be cured. It's beautiful. So it's the law of action and reaction. Whatever good we do, we will receive good. So we improve, we will be in a better place, in an improved place. And there is no way also that we can buy a better place for ourselves. It's through our work. So if you have a mother and father who are angels, who are always doing wonderful deeds, fantastic things, but you were always lazy, never really doing much, just looking and That's nice. My mother does it. That's so cool. Oh, my father did it. Well, that's so nice. He helped so many people. That's good. But did you help? Did you do something good? Did you put your physical body in labor to be able to help someone else? If you're thinking, you're like, maybe in 1983 I did something. That's a problem. That's a problem because we have to be constantly doing something, even if it's something little, even if it's something little. But you have to be able to think about all your good deeds. And with the time, you should be improving, doing more and more, and in a more natural way too. Because sometimes, like for example, this example I gave, that the mother and father are very charitable people, and you usually did something because they kind of forced you, or they really told you in a tough way, no, you have to help us, you help us. But it's different than when you start doing because you want to do it. So this is also improvement. You did something because someone told you to do. Okay, but then you improved to do something because you wanted to do. So there is always something to be done. There is always a space for improvement. Oh, someone wrote a purgatory. Yes. Oh my God, I never remember this word. Yeah. So my limbo is the purgatory. But my mother-in-law actually told me that there is no more purgatory. She said the Catholic Church exterminated with purgatory. I don't know what they have. I don't know what happened now. I think now it's just heaven and hell, and that's it. So let's go reading the text little by little so we can understand. Wow, I can't even be so little by little because it's already 9:23. My goodness. Let's go. On what basis shall we localize the problem of death? Of course, there is no death. Life itself demands death as rebirth between both. Our conscience remains. So this is what I already comment. There is no death. In Spiritism, we know that we die, we will wake up in the other side. But depending on our own deeds, we will wake up in a better place or in not such a good place. And if you also saw the movie Nosso Lar, Astral City, you saw that André Luiz, he woke up in the lower zones. He was not in a good place. And he spent some years there, and it was not easy for him. He was suffering. He was feeling really sick. He was not feeling good because of how he lived his life. He was a good man, but he drank a lot, he smoked a lot, he was not faithful in his marriage. So these were things that in that time were absolutely common. And you say, well, nowadays a lot of people smoke and drink. Yes, yes. But nowadays we have full knowledge that if you smoke, you have a very, very big chance of having a very, very hard problem in your pulmonary area. And the same thing with alcohol. Even if our society always connects alcohol to fun, like you go to a party, you need to have alcohol to have a fun time. And I always say, I don't need that because I'm already like crazy and hyper. If I have alcohol, can you imagine? I used to have when I was very young, and then I realized I was crazier than what I am. And I was like, no, I really don't need that. I need to be a little bit normal and under control. And nowadays, I totally know that it's much more fun to be able to know what you're doing than to do crazy things, and everybody is laughing at you, not with you. That's a problem. So then he goes, experiences may come and experiences may go. In the meantime, conscience goes on. Conscience is divine justice within us. Do not forget, you live always. So this sentence, experiences may come and experiences may go, reminds me a poem that I read I don't know who is the author, but it's the poem of the life is like a train. And it's long and it's very beautiful because it's almost like our life is a train. The train goes from point A to point B. But in the meantime, lots of people come and lots of people go. Some people come since the beginning and go until the end of your life. Other people, they come in the beginning and they quickly leave. Others come in the middle and they stay forever. Others come quickly. They have some kind of representation. They come in your life to bring you something or to introduce you to someone, and then they go. So life is beautiful. So this poem was so touching. It is in Portuguese, but I think there is some kind of version in English. If I find it, I will post it in our Mia Inner Light Facebook page. And the second sentence, when it talks about conscience is divine justice within us, because it's within us, it's our conscience. Our conscience is what gonna bring us to a good place or not good place. It's not God, or like in Portuguese, we have the charge, the cartoon of St. Peter. St. Peter is in the door of heaven with a book, and he's like with the angels, and the angels bring Angie. Oh, so what's your name, my darling? Oh, Angie Stewart. Oh, Angie Stewart, let me go. And he sees and like, oh, Angie Stewart, so sorry, things are not very good for you. You can't come here right now. Go to the other side. So it's not like that. St. Peter is not going to be doing this. It's my own conscience. My own conscience. Right now, when we're living here incarnated on earth, many times we did bad things, but this is hidden, is in our subconscious because we decided to put a stop on it, not to think about it. But deep inside, we know we hurt someone, we did some kind of mistakes, we did some kind of bad things, or there are things that you don't want anybody to know, that you are hiding it. But when we die, when our physical body, boom, is gone, there is no way to hide anything. The enlightened spirits, they tell us that they can look at us and read all our thoughts. We can't do the same. So when we see an enlightened spirit, if you read the books of André Luiz, for example, you know that many times they were in a place, and the spirits that are still trying to improve themselves, they could not see them. So they had to concentrate their energy and vibrate in the same level, so the spirit was going to be able to perceive them. And the same thing with the spirits more enlightened than them. They are also not able to see them, and they are not able to read their thoughts. So everything is vibration, and everything is what level are you right now? Are you here? So if you are vibrating, if you are here and a spirit is much higher than you, he can read your thoughts, but you cannot. So that's how it works, and it's very, very interesting. So our conscience is what's going to be telling us where we can go, how we're going to feel about being in that place. So a spirit must be seen for what he is. Therefore, he can only continue hereafter in the place for which he has adjusted himself. One goes through the gate of death to live again. As you know, one finds, one seeks. So this is also very interesting. So we will be living where we are going to be adjusting ourselves. We all want to live in places that are better. We read about the planet, the blissful planets, and we are like, oh, I want to live there because there is pure love. There is no murder. There is no bad things happening there. But the spirits also tell us that whenever we go visiting these places that are more elevated than our place, we feel totally awkward. We feel absolutely awkward because they are so infinitely better than us that we feel ashamed. We feel like, I don't want to be here because the change is too big. They see us as little kids full of mistakes. And for them, they feel pity and they love so much us. It's really, they see us like a young kid. So you're never going to be angry with a little kid, 2 year old, who is going to grab something and maybe it's going to break it. It's a child, doesn't know what he is doing. So that's our job to teach them. And that's exactly what happens there. So if we had the possibility of living in a place like that, we wouldn't, because we would feel awkward. The same would happen if we go to a place where there is a lot of suffering, a lot of hatred, a lot of negativity. We would feel very bad too. So this is something that sometimes it's hard for us to understand, because we think, oh, no, this wouldn't happen to me. I would love to live in that place. But in the first time, your thoughts, remember, your thoughts, they are everywhere. As soon as you know someone look at you and you're like, oh my God, look at his nose, so ugly. And this is like blinking over your head. And then you feel like, oh my God, I'm so judgmental. How can I be judging someone like that I never even spoke? Boom, that's it. Right there, you already feel bad and you're like, I want to go to a place that nobody can read my thoughts because my thoughts are not that nice yet. So think about it. Then we go. Later on, you will receive happiness in the beyond according to your own deeds now. Your own deeds now. So I mentioned in the beginning, what have you been doing of good? What have you been doing of good? Do you have a huge list? That's good. You don't even need to have a huge list, but you need to have a good heart. And whenever we have a good heart, we have to put this heart to work. There is a sentence of Mother Teresa of Calcutta that she said, charity is love in action. So this is what charity is. We can love, we can be peaceful, we can do everything. But if we never try to extend our hand in order to help someone else, we are missing that the movement. We are missing to put in practice this love that we have. And people always think charity is donating money. I'm struggling. I can't even pay my rent, blah, blah, blah. Charity is not just about money. Charity about so many things. I always say that in this time of COVID, we are all isolated in our homes. Charity is just taking your phone, taking the WhatsApp, and calling someone that you love. You had a problem with your brother. You don't talk to him forever. Just call him, and then he might not want to talk to you because he is connected with whatever happened. And you just tell him, listen, I'm so sorry for whatever happened to us in the past. I just want to tell you that I love you. You are my brother. And I understand you don't want to talk to me. It's fine. But I just want to let you know that whenever you think like doing it, I'm here. And boom. This is also charity. Yeah, it's helping you to be humble. It's a process. It's exercising. It's exercising this process. And there are so many charitable works everywhere that you can always do something. As I mentioned last week, I have a tiny little project, charitable project right now. Super easy. Anyone can do it. Is writing letters to the elderly in the nursing home. So if you want to join it, please let me know. It's super easy. You can live in any place in the planet. In the planet. Not even in the United States, but wherever you can live. If you speak English, if you know how to write, nowadays we have Google. It's an excellent tool. You can just copy and paste. If you have this tool, you just write a letter to one of the elderlies. The place I chose is here in Miami. and you just write to them, and they will be so excited to receive your letters. I'm super excited also to say that I have 56 volunteers, most from my neighborhood. Most of my neighbors that I got together from this fantastic Facebook of the neighbor that's called Next Door. I love Nextdoor. So I was able to meet all these charitable people that they said, yes, I want to write. I want to write. So I connected the nursing home and they will help us to receive their answers back. So this is charity, because imagine you are in your house. Maybe you are bored, you are feeling lonely. We can't go anywhere. Everything is like in lockdown or social distancing. So it's hard. Imagine them. They are elderly. Most of them they already have sick problems, so they cannot have visits. It's very difficult. They are 4 months minimum without seeing anyone they know. So when they heard about this charity, this little project, they're like, wow, writing to someone I don't know, that's fun. So this is also charity. Let's put in practice. Later on, you will receive happiness in the beyond according to your own deeds. Did I read this one? Is the one I just read? Think about this. Make believe you are in your own plane after death and look over your obligations before you contract them. So this is very much connected to what I said. We are the ones who are constructing our happiness day by day. If day by day you are angry, you're fighting, you keep like this anger in yourself, you're not constructing happiness, you are actually constructing sickness. Because nowadays the doctors, they already studied people that keep anger within themselves, resentment, all kinds of negativity. These people have a bigger tendency in developing some kind of a tumor, some kind of a disease. So think, I wanna be physically healthy, mental healthy. So even if we all go through difficult times, we all go through anger process. But one thing is to get angry and like, okay, let me breathe, let me meditate, let me understand that life is so much better and I can't keep this feeling. So this is a process of releasing also. So you have to think about that. This is very important, so you don't keep this negativity within you. I didn't even see that I had the messages here, so let me see. I have here Carmen Santiago. Carmen is saying, what is the name of the movie you just mentioned? Carmen, I think you were talking about Nosso Lar, and in English it was translated to Astral City. You can just write Astral City in Google. You can also write Chico Xavier, the name of the medium of this book, and then you will be able to see. I believe you can see it also on YouTube, but not sure if it was in another Netflix. I'm not sure, but Google will bring you some kind of links to help you. Let me see else. Saw answer here. Very good. Okay, so we are fine. Woo! Time flies. Okay. Each morning you ask yourself, what am I looking for? So what I'm looking for? What's the purpose of my life? Why do I live here right now? What I'm doing? How can I improve myself? That's what you have to think. First, first of all, hear your conscience. Do not beat about the bush. Each one of us must bow to the truth. This is a beautiful sentence. This is a beautiful sentence. And we really have, this is good for us when we take like 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. You don't need 1 hour. I can't. Do 5 minutes of meditation. Sit down, close your eyes and try to think. Try to think, how can I improve my day today? How can I be better? Who should I contact to give some love or to receive some love. This you should do this every day in your life, every day. Especially now we're in social distancing, you cannot just go to your friend's house and hug her. So you have to be in the social distancing, hoping soon we will be able to kind of return to our normal life. When you are wrong, it's better to admit your mistakes without reservation and henceforward repair them. You are called upon to hurt yourself, but do not cheat yourself out of it. So, first step, admit our mistakes. Not easy. Because we always like to say, no, but this only happened because this person did this type of thing. So I only did this because of him, because of her. So stop pointing your fingers. Stop pointing your fingers and think about yourself. Yes, they might happen because of something, but it was mainly because of you. If you could have controlled yourself, if you could have, like, no, wait, this conversation is not doing good. Let's quit right now. Let's talk about something else. Changing vibrations, let's, like, let me go to the bathroom for 1 minute. Break it in whatever way you can. So it would maybe avoid something going in a much worse situation. But if you couldn't, if it already happened, admit your part of the problem and try to act upon it. Try to go towards the person and say, listen, I'm sorry. That day I was not in a good day. I'm so sorry for what I said. We have to be proactive. The worst thing is what I said right in the beginning, when we hide things in our conscience. We are only hiding, but it's in our conscience. So one day it will emerge, and it can bring lots of problems for ourselves. If it doesn't bring problems in this lifetime, it will bring when we discarnate, because we will have that issue that we did not resolve. So it's better we resolve our problems when we are here incarnated than when we go to the spiritual realm and then we face the person that we hurt, the person that we have problems, and we are not adjusted yet. Because will, depending of what it was, if it's really serious, we might need to return with that person to resolve a situation. So not very easy. So let's practice this forgiveness. Let's practice this reparation while we are here. Think, we all have a problems to resolve. We all have people that we hurt. We were hurted too. So if you are the one who was hurt, don't wait for the person to call you and to say forgiveness, forgive me. No, let it go. Forgive the person. Think the person was sick, think the person was not doing good, and try to let it go, this anger against the person. Don't really keep this within you, because it's not going to bring any love, any light towards you. So education for happiness in the beyond resolves about our daily troubles. You cannot achieve good works without effort. That's the thing. To something to be good, you have to work hard. A good pianist, he doesn't play 1 hour a day. He plays 8, 10, 12 hours a day practicing. Even the very good ones, they need to practice to have speed, to have, like, how soft it can be, how hard it can be. So need practice. And the same thing is with us. We need to practice good. So one day we'll be really good. Right now we are kind of more or less, but okay. Trial reveals character. If you promise to help someone, do it now. Do it now. If you want improvement, do not leave it for tomorrow. Do it today. It's very important. A lot of people have this tendency, oh, yes, yes, I will do it. Sure, I will do it. This is good. I will do it. Yeah. And then the person really wants to do it, but they start postponing, 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 and then forgets and then never do it. There is a beautiful book I mentioned. I have a group on WhatsApp that we exchange lots of things, and I was mentioning about Eckhart. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Eckhart Tolle. I think it's Eckhart. Eckhart Tolle. He is German, but he lives in Canada. And he wrote this beautiful book, The Power of Now. It's beautiful, it's powerful. So read it. Read it and you will understand everything he says. You know, you want to do something, don't postpone. Do it now. You bought a beautiful dress that you love and you're saying, I have no place to go with it. Use it. Use it. Use it. Walk your dog in your beautiful dress. Yes. The maximum they are going to say, oh, look, that crazy woman in that fancy dress on the street. So they will laugh and you will laugh back and you say, yes, that's my party for today. I have no place to use. So, yes, live life in abundance of happiness, you know. It's beautiful when you walk on the street and you see someone smiling. And nowadays it's so hard because everybody has masks. So you can even see the smile of people. You smile with your eyes, you don't even see it. I actually saw a mask someone invented that prints your own face smiling. That's really cool. I want to discover where can I buy that. So you are born from heaven, and you will get back here carrying your conscience, uh, the fruit of your works. Before you go back to the beyond, you must cleanse your inner world. Above all, keep a good conscience. The field of thought is free, truly living acts and not in dreams. So this is what I just said. Living acts, not in dreams. Don't dream that you will be a better person. Be a better person. Act. Do something. Life is like this. If you want to have a good life in the spiritual realm when you die, it has to start right now. So if you live happy, if you live doing good, don't worry much because if you did good, you will wake up in a good situation. But if you are always angry, you're always questioning the others, you are always gossiping, you're talking about bad things about other, pointing fingers, what? Wake up. You may be not murdering people like in the past, but you are still doing things that you shouldn't. So this is dangerous. Where God's joy is, but where God is, there is also responsibility. So God is responsibility. So if you have God within you, if you have the moral teachings within you, you have to use them. You have to practice them. So I cannot be telling you, forgive your enemy, forgive your neighbor who is a pain in the neck, if I myself am fighting with my neighbor. So this is not a really improvement. This is a falsity. It's like how do I say a false person in English? Help me, guys. But if you say something and you do another, that's not good. Be careful. Use the gifts lent to you in the good of all, because when death arrives, you have everything that you gave to others. Here and there, you may God's love be seen through you. So this is important. We all have gifts. All have gifts. That's why it's so beautiful that we are all very different. We are not the same, because if we were all the same, life would be so boring. Can you imagine if everybody talked so much as me? It would be insane. We would go in a place and would be like, oh, I have a headache. But it's good. The differences are good. Some people love to dance, me. Others love to sing, love to play. So we can be together and we are already having a party. So this is the beauty. And also it's the beauty that Jesus gave us friends that are older, spiritually speaking. So they are incarnated here giving us good examples because they already grew up. They already know better than us. So we see them and we get inspired and we think, oof, I can't do this right now, but I'm making effort. I'm truly trying hard to be able to be as good as that person. So this was the beautiful message of this book. We have to quickly go to the gospel, although we are not going to be able to do much here. So the message in the gospel that I'm going to read is about Vianney, priest of ours from Paris. So I was reading a little bit about Vianney, and his life is beautiful. Let me see if I can share with you here. You see here, he has a Wikipedia, and his name was Jean-Marie Vianney. And I will place his information in our Facebook page, Mia InnerLight, so you can read about him. And I think there is a little movie also. So if I find it, I will put it there so you can know a little bit more about himself. So the message of today is from him. So the message is the chapter 8, and the title is Blessed Are They Whose Eyes Are Closed. So this is what I was mentioning before. Why are blessed the ones who the eyes are closed? So it's a long message. I don't have time to read everything. Oh, I see Matthew saying here, hypocrite. Yes, Matthew, this is connected with what I was saying, that whenever a person tells something to do, the others to do, and when they don't do, that's basically what the Pharisees in the time of Jesus used to do. They were the ones telling everybody to do this, this, and this, follow the thousands of rules they had created, but they themselves, they were not doing it. So they were the hypocrites. I have to memorize this word. Thank you, Matthew. So the message from Vianney goes about someone arriving to him in a process of evocation, because in the time of Kardec, he used to evoke spirits to come and to talk to him during these mediumistic meetings. But we know that in the time of Kardec, he had to do it because he was codifying spiritism. He was collecting messages to be able to build up the books, to create the books for us to study. So in that time, this was common. But nowadays, this is not common. Nowadays, this is very rare. And it's, I don't even know it's possible to happen. And what Chico Xavier, the biggest medium from Brazil, always says is that the phone rings from there here and not the contrary. We can be thinking about someone we want to communicate, and we can never do it. He or she will receive the message, because we know that when we pray, when we meditate, when we think about someone, especially with love, and then we think and we're like, oh, I would love so much to get a message from you. Even if the spirit cannot give you a message, he receives your thought and he will be connected to you. And then whenever is possible, because there are so many rules, sometimes the spirits is not because they are dead that they can come and go immediately as we imagine. No, it's not possible to do. But they will receive the message, and whenever possible, they will come. And many times they come in our dreams, and we don't remember the dream. You just think like, oh, it's funny. I thought about that person. I can't remember the dream right now, but yeah, I think I dreamed with him yesterday. And you're like, oh, I wish I could remember. Yes, many times we wish we could remember, but sometimes we cannot remember. We don't know why, but sometimes we cannot remember. Sometimes the spirit is telling us certain things that we are not allowed to keep this memory because we need to work on certain things by ourselves. And if someone just told you, oh, this, and this will happen, maybe I would be so sure it was going to happen that I wouldn't work. So certain things are not allowed. So sometimes we don't have the full remembrance of our dreams. But remember, anytime you miss someone, pray for the person, send your love, connect with something from the person, a music or a food this person used to love, and then you will be able to fully understand. And now I just saw a message here that I hadn't read. Saul said, Carmen Santiago, I heard they would do other movie of André Luiz's Mensageiros. Oh, yes. Carmen, if you haven't seen that movie, please do so. And if you can't find the movie, please read the book. The movie is fantastic, but the book has so many details that the movies can never really do it. But they did a very, very good job in Osula. But there are certain things that are different because they had to adapt. So if you can read the book, please do so. So I have 3 minutes. So I might come back to this message because it's a beautiful message. Basically, doing a huge summary, what he is saying is that sometimes because the way we lived in our past lives, we used certain organs in a bad way and we misused it. So we need to learn how to use it in a good way. So imagine sometimes people love kids so much and they couldn't have their own child. So they've tried anything. Nowadays, it's such a blessing because there are so many different types of fertility treatments. So people can do it. And women are having kids much older than in the past because of so many drugs and treatments are available. But unfortunately, sometimes this happens and the person is still cannot have kids. So this may be our time. This may be because in the past life you misused this blessing that's called maternity. So you will need to experience one lifetime or who knows more, you will need to experience that you will not be able to be a mother in that lifetime. But, we always say that you can be a mother. Maybe you can be a mother from your own physical body, but there are so many other ways that you can be a mother. You can be, you can adopt. So many kids need a mother and father. But the problem is like people want to adopt, they want to adopt a child that it's a baby. Oh, I only want to adopt if it's maximum a year old. Oh, I only want to adopt if the baby is white and looks like me or my husband. This is very difficult. This is like thousands of people. So when we really want to adopt, we really want to give love and receive love from a child, anyone will be a good candidate to our love. Remember Divaldo Franco. There is a movie about Divaldo Franco, and the name is Divaldo Franco. There will tell his lifetime. Since a very, very young age, he started adopting children that were abandoned. Nobody wanted those kids. And he was able to open his arms and start helping them. And of course, when you are doing something good, remember, when you are doing something good, you will be surrounded by spirits that will be helping you. And those spirits will bring physical people to help you. The same thing I just mentioned of my simple project of writing letters to the elderly. I decided to write by myself. And then I invited one friend and then another. And then a friend even told me, why don't we do this in Miami instead of North Carolina? And I said, yes. And then I'm like, oh, I want to invite everybody that I know. And now I already have 56 people doing it. So Givaldo received help. So let's put in practice this love that we have within ourselves. So we will be able to be a better person, and we will not be afraid of death, because our life will be already transforming here. So let's invite our friend Nora to do our prayer, because Angie talks too much. I need like, okay, now is Nora time.
Angie, what a beautiful message. So beautiful. Thank you.
Nah,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you. It's always beautiful to talk about spiritism, to talk about transformation, inner transformation. It's so nice, and death is something that there is a book called "Who is Afraid of Death?" That's also fantastic. Don't know if you ever saw it. It's a very thin book, very funny, and brings like light to this subject that is so afraid.
Amen. All righty. All right, friends, let's say a prayer. Dear Mother, Father God, thank you so much for this beautiful message. Our hearts are filled with joy as we receive this sublime word. We want to ask for protection during this time as planet Earth is going through a beautiful metamorphosis, and us as well, that we may understand our roles and responsibilities along the process. We especially want to ask for all the doctors, nurses, and all the medical teams that a special light may evolve their bodies and their mind, for all the essential workers sending healing waves that may renew them in and out daily, for all the educators, the students, and parents, that we may understand the system guided by the divine um, educators and directors, for all the families at home, that the Lord's love, courage, and strength reign their hearts. We want to ask for all the businesses that are being affected, that the divine helps them understand that in the end, everything balances out. We want to ask for all of those in nursing homes, sending them hugs, those in the hospitals, sending them vibes and vibrations of healing light. And of course, for all of those living on the streets and prisons and detention centers, refugee camps, or any place that is not home, that Mother Mary, with her beautiful, embracing arms, rock these souls into a peaceful sleep every night. And of course, we ask for Angie that she may continue spreading this beautiful word and talk, which is beautiful. We ask permission to close this meeting, and so be it.
So be it. Beautiful, my dear. Very nice. Thank you so much. You're able to involve everybody feeling your love. Thank you so much. It's very, very nice. My friends, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. It's always so good. And when we think, wow, 1 hour is so long, but it always flies, always flies. So I have to really control myself so I can pay attention to my time. So thank you so much for you all being here. Thank you, Nora, for being with us.
Thank you,
And
Angie.
we will be back Thursday for a new adventure. Thank you all. God bless you. See you soon. Thank you, Nora. See you soon. Bye bye.